Hi to everyone. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to use multi-sim online simulator to design simple electronic circuits. So by using this software, it is possible for you to simulate your circuit and see your waveform, final output waveform. There are several software modules are available to design your electronic circuit, but, but especially why I choose this multi-sim means it is user-friendly and it provides the output in an efficient manner. So in this video, I'm going to tell how to create an account and how to use multi-sim online simulator, how to create your own circuit, how to simulate your circuit, and finally how to save your circuit and how to see the waveforms. All those things should be explained in this video. So it is not an open source software. If you want to download it means you have to pay a huge amount to that particular company. But in online simulator, it is an open source one. So we have to utilize that online simulator tool, multi-sim online simulator tool, to design your electronic circuit. So first of all, in Google search, you have to give multi-sim online, and the website is open. Enter into this website, and you have to create your own account by clicking this sign up option. After clicking sign up option, this form is supposed to be open, and you are supposed to give a particular name here. The name must be your username. I'm given here as AZRI, and this is your name, first name and last name. And role. Role means where either you are a research scholar or a postgraduate or a student. If you are a student, simply select student in the role, and the form is updated based on your role. And next one is option. You have to give your college name. For example, Karunya. So Karunya Institute and Technology is get selected. Otherwise, for example, Ishwari Medical Foundation, Eye Hospital. So you have to select your college here. And next one is your address and the city where your college is situated and the postal code. The graduation date is nothing but when you are going to complete your graduation. That particular month and year is to be selected. And this is the important one. You are supposed to give your email address. If it is wrong means, then automatically the link should be sent to someone else. So you are very much careful before going to give the email address. So if you are giving the email address, then automatically the link is sent to that particular email address. From that link itself, you have to access your multi-sim online simulator. And this is the password. It is not your email address password. It is simply the login password of your multi-sim online simulator. So you have to set a new password, and you have to create the account. After creating the account, the link should be sent to a particular email address. You are supposed to click that email address, and directly you have to go to this page and give login, because already you have to create an account and you have your own username and password. After clicking login, you have to enter the registered email address and your password and give login. Then it directly enter into that multi-sim online simulator tool. I have already created an account, so I already created some circuits. Around I am having 8 circuits in my dashboard. So clicking this button, create circuit, it should be entered into the simulator tool. This is your simulator page. So in this page, you are going to create your circuit. This sheet is nothing but like a breadboard. So I'm going to select the components from the left-hand side of the simulator tool. So I'm going to design a full wave rectifier or a power supply. the power supply must get an input as 240 volt and produce an output at 5 volt. That is our concept. Full wave rectifier can also act as an power supply. So I'm going to design a full wave rectifier or a power supply by using this multi-sim online simulator. I'm clicking this. These are some of the components availability list. So this is nothing but ground, connector and junction. This is nothing but your source, AC voltage, AC current, block voltage, all those things are present here. This is your resistor. Passive components are available here. So resistor, capacitor, inductor, all those components will be selected from this particular menu. And this is nothing but your operating amplifier. And this is nothing but your diode. And this is nothing but your transistor. And this is nothing but your load. So I'm supposed to click this source. So I'm getting my input power supply from this particular menu, and then by clicking on that, by clicking on this values, there is a tab opening here. These are nothing but the features of this particular power supply. It is possible for you to change the input voltage level and frequency by making some changes in the right hand side panel. So the input voltage defaultly it should be 1 volt. I want to change it to 240 volt. We already know that the household domestic appliances input voltage is 240. So I am supposed to change it as 240 and the frequency is 60 hertz. So whatever may be the changes, I'm supposed to make it in the right side panel. That should be reflected here also. That the changes should be updated here also. So the input power supply must be with the name of V1 and 240 volt input supply and 60 hertz of frequency. So next I'm going to select a transformer. So I'm going to select a transformer here. Transformer should be available here. This is the transformer. I'm selecting a single phase 3 out transformer, that is a center tapped transformer. This is the primary side, this is the secondary side. A transformer may be classified into two categories. One is step up and step down. Step up means your input voltages can be increases to another level. For example, if I am giving 12 volt AC, that should be increases to somewhat 24 or 48 based on your application. Step down means the input should be somewhat reduced at the output. For example, if I am giving a 240 volt, if I need 12 volt AC means, then by using step down transformer, it is possible for you to reduce your input voltage to some extreme. So this is the feature of a transformer. If I am clicking here, then the features of the transformer is available at the right side panel. And this is the primary side and secondary side. To make it as a step down transformer, because in power supply, the 240 volt can be reduced to 5 volt DC. That 5 volt DC can given as an input to a load. So I'm going to use step down transformer here. So in step down transformer, the primary winding side is more when compared to secondary winding side. So I'm supposed to give 20 number of windings at the primary turns, and at secondary turns I'm using 1. I'm giving 240 means 240 divided by 20. You're supposed to get 12 volt AC as an output from this transformer. Okay, I think you will understand clearly. If I'm giving 10 means then 240 divided by 10, I am supposed to get 24 volt AC as an output of transformer. So I am giving 20 volt at the primary side, 20 number of windings at the primary side, and 1 turns at the secondary side. So this 240 divided by 20, you are supposed to get 12 volt at the output of the transformer. Next, I'm going to connect this transformer with this power supply. If you want to connect an electronic device with another device, you are supposed to need a wire. You are supposed to bring your cursor here, and it should be changed like this. And simply by click here, you get the wire connection. Simply drag it and again click it, and the wire get connected, the positive supply to the transformer primary side. Again, you have to drag a wire and connect it to the primary side of the transformer. And then I'm going to use a diode. We already know that the purpose of using diode is it can act as a rectifier. The major application of diode is a rectifier, so it can convert AC signal into DC. That is the main application of a diode. And then I'm by clicking here, I'm getting four options. One is it is nothing but mirror, and you have to delete it by clicking this option, and you have to duplicate means you have to get a copy of a diode. So I need another diode, that's why I have to copy this once again. And the fourth option is rotate. Okay, so I'm getting two diodes here. I'm going to connect the secondary side of this transformer with the diode. My concept is at the output of the transformer, I am supposed to get a step down voltage, 12 volt AC voltage. I want to convert that AC voltage into DC voltage because my application or load needed a 5 volt DC supply. That's why I need a rectifier here to convert the AC signal into DC signal. So here also I'm using a wire to connect the diode D2 again, and then I'm pick a component that is nothing but a capacitor. I want to rotate it like this. Okay, this capacitor can act as a filter. The unwanted noise that should be come out of this DC must be removed by using this capacitor. So the capacitor can act as a filter. There are four types of filter we are majorly used. One is low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter, band stop filter. A low pass filter means it can allow only the low frequency of signals. High pass filter means it can allow only the high frequency of signal. You don't go that much depth inside it. Simply here the capacitor can be used to remove the unwanted signal and produce the perfect DC signal to the output. So I'm connecting the capacitor with this transformer like this. Okay, fine. So I think the power supply circuit is ready, but I'm going to connect the load here. I am taking the resistor as a load. Think this as a load, so the resistor can act as a load. So I'm connecting the load. So I'm connecting the load with this circuit. And ground is very, very important. Whenever any fault current or fault current occur means that should be get down only through this ground. So ground is very, very important. Without ground, circuit cannot respond. So our power supply circuit is ready, and we are. This is the schematic page, and this is the graphical page. Okay, you are going to see your simulation output or waveform only at this particular page. So in this schematic page, it is nothing but your probe, voltage probe. So by placing this probe like this, it is possible for you to see your output. So it is the probe which is placed here along with the load. In this probe, it is possible for you to see your waveform. So the output waveform must be in blue color, and the input voltage supply waveform must be in green color. So yeah, it is possible for you to see your input voltage as well as the output voltage and by using this multi-sim online simulator. So this is the graph I already told you. This is nothing but run button. Your circuit is ready. So once again I repeated, this is your given power supply. You have to change the values by simply click it. If you clicking here means then automatically the right side panel, there is a particular tab opens. In that tab, it will show the features of the input voltage source. It is possible for you to change the voltage at this panel. Whatever may be the corrections or updation, you have to make it in the right side panel. That should be reflect or updated in the schematic page also. Okay, so this input power supply has been given as input to transformer. The transformer output can be given as input to diode. This diode can act as a rectifier. This transformer can be act as step down transformer. So 240 volt to 12 volt AC and 12 volt AC to there is some resistance present inside the diode. We already know that resistance can control the flow of current. So there is some voltage drop occur here. So 12 volt AC can be converted to 5 volt DC by using this diode. This diode can act as a rectifier. So the unwanted noise signals can be removed by this event. Noise means that the diode can convert the AC into DC, but some sort of AC signal is also present with the DC. That sort of AC signal, unwanted signal, can be removed by this capacitor, and the load can clearly get the perfect DC signals. Okay, so I'm clicking this run button, and the circuit get ready, and it get run, and I'm going to see the graphical representation here. You have to change some levels, that is voltage level. In this window, the level is 35 to -5, but our input voltage level is -242 plus 240. So I'm supposed to change the value to -240 voltage level to plus 240. Okay. And I have to adjust the time. If I adjust the time, then the waveform get closer, 1 millisecond, 2 millisecond, and 3 millisecond. And this is the pass button, so you have to pass it and see the waveform, output waveform. See here, the green color waveform is nothing but your given input voltage. Your given input voltage is nothing but the AC voltage. So it consists of both the positive cycle as well as negative cycle. Okay, here see, by placing your cursor, you have to see the values 239.35 voltage and minus 239. So our given input voltage level is plus 242 minus 240, and this blue color represents the DC signal. So it is nothing but 5.2 volt. See here, 5.2 volt DC signal. We already know the DC signal is nothing but a DC signal is unidirectional. It consists of only the positive cycle. It doesn't go to negative cycle, so it is only unidirectional. That is 5.2 voltage is the final uptime output voltage for the given 240 voltage input, for the given 240 volt input voltage. So once again, go to schematic diagram. Your operation is pass here. This is stop button. This is once again run button. If I click means then the voltage level is, the current level is going on like this. If you want to see the value means you have to click the pass simulation button. And the split option is nothing but you have to see both the schematic page as well as the graphical page in the single window. Okay, that is nothing but split. Once again, go to schematic page. So your circuit is ready. I'm going to save this circuit. So I'm clicking this file navigation menu and give save. And visibility option is private and public. If I click private, no one see your circuit. If I give it in public means if anybody search in the Google search, for example, how to design a power supply by using multi-sim simulator means they can easily see your circuit design. So name means I'm going to give the name like this, power -1, and give some description about the circuit. What are the components you are supposed to use and how to connect the components with this. All those descriptions should be given here. And this tag is nothing but you have to give some name. For example, this is a full wave rectifier. So this is the keywords. Whenever in Google, if any person search like this fully rectifier by using a multi-sim simulator, then automatically your circuit is also present in the search option. So for example, select this fully rectifier and give OK, and your circuit is stored in your in the dashboard. Okay. Next, I will tell you how to see your circuit in the dashboard. For this is nothing but your export option. If I click export and schematic image, then automatically I have to save this particular schematic image in your desktop. Okay, so next is once again I have to click and go to my circuits. It is in, stop this and go to my circuits. So I already created several circuits. So this is the circuit designed by us, power 1. Okay, by simply click this and give open circuit. So your circuit is open. you have to make any modification means, then you have to make some modification in the circuit. So whatever may be your basic electronic circuit, that should be designed by using this multi-sim online simulator, and you have to verify the waveform by using this multi-sim online simulator. And you have to export your circuit to the external site, and you have to share your circuit with other persons also, and you have to save your circuit in dashboard. Whenever you need, you have to utilize it, and you want to modify your circuit, then you have to modify it. Why we use this software simulator means, before going for hardware implementation, if you design a hardware implementation, if you design a hardware circuit, there is any uh, failure occurs at the output, then it is very tough for you to find out the failure. Okay, and it is very tough for you to change the components. So before going to hardware implementation, you are supposed to design it in your software and get a clear idea how to connect a particular component with another component, how much wires I am supposed to use. So you get a clear idea. So after getting a clear idea, and you are supposed to verify your output, then you are supposed to implement your circuit in the hardware. Okay, that's all about. I think you're very clear with the concept. If you have any doubt, feel to give your comments in the comment section. Thank you for watching.